everyone. I'm Chris the Camping Stitcher. I am back with Flosstube number 70. Welcome. It is Saturday, June 14th, 2025. Happy Flag Day if you're in the United States. And happy Father's Day to any dads or anybody filling the role of dad tomorrow. I always forget to wish people a whatever happy anything, so get that right out of the gate. So welcome. If you're new, I hope you find something that you are interested in. This is primarily about cross stitch, my channel, so, and today is all cross stitch. I have a new release. I have WIPs. If you're returning, thank you. I appreciate it. I wanted to get this done this weekend because next week's going to be pretty busy. So, and I always say I'll be back in 2-ish weeks. I do have a campfire story, so I'll let you know about that at the end. It is raining here in New Jersey, but the house wren is still singing outside, and we have a resident pileated woodpecker that's whooping it up out there, so you might hear that. Dogs are quiet. Birds inside are quiet. I think we're good to go. I have my notes. Always have my notes. I never look at them, but I have them. I have my book of days. Here we are for June. Stickered up. Had a couple of new starts. I do have a new release. I did put a quick little reel out last week when I released the companion piece to Red, White, and True. This was released a few weeks ago, and let me share that with you. This is Patriotic Pals. Our cute little dog friend is back, and we have an eagle in a little red wagon holding the American flag, fireworks, rockets, celebrating the USA. So this is also available in my Etsy shop, and it's in PDF and paper, so head on over to the Etsy shop if you haven't already. It's a quick stitch. It's 84 wide by 82 high. The model was stitched on Vintage Country Mocha, but you could stitch it on anything, any Aida, any linen, any even weave, anything. And it's just got a few areas of back stitch for the dog and the flag. And that was my new release last week, Patriotic Pals. If you order the paper chart before Monday, I could ship it out Monday. If you order the paper chart Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, it will not ship until Thursday. Just want to let you know that. What else? New release out of the way. Oh, I had some questions. So I had a couple of people ask me about the eye mask I talked about a few episodes ago. This is it. It is a rechargeable electric. It does come with another cover. It's got a little zipper up here, and you long press to turn it on, and then it's got 3 levels. I usually use the second level because I don't want to burn my eyes out. And I put it on for about 10 minutes a night. I think it's helping with my dry eyes. So I do have a link to that. I'll put it in the box below. And so far, I'm happy with it. I mean, it's a little bit more convenient than heating up something in the microwave every night. And if you're somewhere you don't have a microwave available, I want to say I wear it for about 10 minutes. So every 5th night, I need to recharge it, 5th day. Because it only holds about, I want to say, 4th or 5th night. It depends. If I leave it on for 15 minutes, it's 4 nights. If I leave it on for 10, it's 5 nights, 6 nights sometimes. So yeah, it's working out well. I think it's helping. I'm gonna let you know after I've used it for a few months. But so I had somebody ask about that. I wanted to follow up on that. I had somebody else ask, how do I sew my rickrack on? Like on my pillows. So there are so many tutorials on YouTube. So if you put in sewing on rickrack for cross stitch finishing, you'll come up with a bunch of tutorials. I think Vanna Pfeiffer has something out there. I think maybe Helen D has something about sewing on rickrack. I'm not sure. I used two methods. I think it was Brenda Gervais. She does like a whip stitch over the every few little zigzags. On these, because I like to pinch it so that I like to pinch the rickrack. I like to pinch it so it stands up a little bit. I just go down through the rickrack into the pillow, come back up through this around the same spot of the rickrack, and go over a little bit more. So I grab little bites and sew it on. Some people glue it on. I mean, there's so many different ways you can do it. I mean, it's pretty. There's so many tutorials out there. I'm not really the premier expert on rickrack application, but just sew it on however it works for you. But like I said, there's so many tutorials on YouTube. Give it a search. Somebody else asked me on my Instagram page, and I like to think I'm pretty thorough when I post a project. I'll tell you what chart it is, who the designer is, usually what fabric I'm using. I get this sometimes. Where can I find that chart? I don't know. Like, unless it's my chart and you can find it in my Etsy store. There's so many places that designers have their charts. You'd have to probably do a search and find out, like, maybe your local needlework shop has it, or maybe your favorite online shop has it. But I don't really search that out before I share a chart, because it's so easily, unless it's something that's out of print, which I would say ahead of time. But yeah, go, like, you'd have to see, you might want to get with your local needlework shop and ask them if they can get it for you. But yeah, that was another question. Oh, somebody else asked me if I've tried reading glasses instead of my progressives to stitch with. Yes. Yeah, reading glasses are not a good fit for me. I just end up straining my eyes more, because most times when I'm stitching, I have the TV on and I'm like either looking over the tops of the reading glasses or I accidentally look through them. So yes, but yes, I appreciate the thought. Oh, another question I had. How do I get my pillows so square? Okay, so I use something called Cluster Stuff. It's by Morning Glory, and so far the only place that I've been able to reliably find it is Hobby Lobby. So I don't go there often, so when I go there I'll stock up on it. There is also another cluster-like stuffing called Perfect Loft by Pellon, but they're significantly more expensive. So I would like to give that a try, but the pound bag from Hobby Lobby is like $8 or $9, and the Perfect Loft is like $17 or something like that last time I looked. In any case, I use a cluster-like stuffing. I don't use polyfill. So the cluster, let me just see if I can grab it. Here it is. Okay. See cluster? So the cluster-like stuffing is, I don't know if you could see. I'm going to try to show you. See, it's all like little bits, which can be somewhat frustrating when you're trying to stuff something, but it goes. I leave like about a 2-inch opening, whether I do it on like the bottom seam or if I'm making a slit in the back. I stuff the corners first, but I rework the corners as I continue to stuff the pillow. And I stuff, and I do a firm pack, like, you know, when I pack it in pretty firm. And I'll rework the corners to make sure there'll be, you know, stuffing up there. Because sometimes you sit there and you think you're going to stuff it and it doesn't really stay in there. I know some people put a little yarn up there. I was thinking of trying a little bit of roving up there. But working the corners, it seems to work. And the cluster stuff, I think, works a lot better because you can get smaller bits. So when it's stuffed and I sew the bottom shut, it's not like this. It's curved on the sides and really plump. And so I'm not telling you to do this. This is what I do to my pillows because they're mine. I turn on my iron and I hit the steam button and I turn it to the backing because I usually will iron a label on when I'm done. And I hit it with steam and it smushes it and it compresses it. And so they're firm and they're flat and they don't bow. And so the bow that happens on the sides isn't as pronounced after that. How that works, I don't know. I don't know the science behind it, but I'm guessing since I compress the stuffing that it evens out the sides. But you could still see a little bit of bow. It's a pillow, but that is what I do. I steam them. Then I put my label on. And then after that, I sew my trim on or glue my trim on. The trim is the last thing I do. So I hope that helped. Oh, okay. And then the last question I had was, what do I bring camping with me in terms of stitching, accessories, equipment? Do I bring a stand? Do I bring a light? I do not bring a stand. I am primarily a hoop stitcher. I do use scroll frames on something that's that I don't want to put in a hoop, like something that might need to be beaded or something like that. I'll use my Kay's Creation stand, which is very similar to a Lowry, and I'll use scroll frames. But for the most part, I am a hoop stitcher, and I use Nerd hoops. I'll show you one in a second. And as far as lighting goes, I bring my Halo Go, which has a little magnifier on it, but I don't usually use that. It's a rechargeable and it folds down. I should have brought it over here, but I'm sure you've probably seen it. And I'll use that when I'm inside the camper. If it's not a good light day. But I have a skylight right over my table in the camper where I stitch. So I have pretty good lighting in there when I'm inside. They also asked me if I stitch inside or outside. Yes. Yes. I stitch inside. If it's too hot, if it's rainy, if it's incredibly buggy, if it's nighttime, if it's too early in the morning, I stitch outside. If it's a beautiful day and I want to, you know, like going camping, I try to stitch outside. Stitching outside, I usually, it's best on a cloudy day, like a not so sunny bright day. Sunny bright days, I'd have to put out the awning, and that's not great for stitching because it blocks the light. But on a like kind of overcast, brighter day, it's perfect stitching outside. A fall day, it's really nice stitching outside. I have my big comfy chair out there. I have a side table. I'm around the picnic table, so I have some place to put my feet up. So yes, I stitch inside and outside. Why not? And then it gets buggy and I go inside. So I hope that answered everybody's questions. That I think was my biggest amount of questions. Okay, So let's get on to my finishes. I had a couple of finishes. I don't have any FFOs other than my Patriotic Pals. But I do have 2 finishes, which I gotta move everything over. And I do have the gift recipients, and I will get to that after after my WIPs. Okay, the first thing I finished, I showed you this. I'm all over the place today, but I saw this. I think Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher, she was showing a business card holder, and she was showing it to hold needle packs. And I saw it and I went, wait a second, wouldn't that be great to hold my project cards? So instead of keeping them on the ring, because the rings were getting a little to thumb through, I am storing my project cards in the date I finish them order. So, and they can come out very easily. See, look. Oh, wait. Yes, look, see? So this is my first finish, was Liberty from Brenda Gervais. Is that upside down? Jesus. Okay. And I started this on May 20th, 2025, and I finished it on May 31st, a day after my last Flosstube. This was my Market Mania 2025 stitch start with Stitch and Gem number 4, and I finished it, and I'm super duper happy with it. I don't know how I'm gonna fully finish it yet, but yeah. I got a rack of stuff I gotta fully finish. I haven't fully finished anything. I gotta do my animal crackers. Okay, so this is done on Picture This Plus. Oh my god, 36 count. One moment, please. And I'm shaking the table and I'm doing all sorts of stuff. This is done on 36 count Picture This Plus Legacy. Love it. Love that fabric. Oh my gosh, it's perfect fabric. Okay, with all the called for floss, I did change the color of the house to Weeks Dye Works Dove, and that's the only change I think I made. Yeah, I love it. It's beautiful. I definitely want to, I think I'm going to end up framing them because it's like a series. So I'm really super happy with how it came out. But, and I really do love the Picture This Plus Legacy. It's such a great neutral. So there she is. That was finish number 1 from my handy dandy business card file holder thingy. Thank you, Nancy. I saw it. I saw you hold that up and I was like, hey, business cards. That would hold my project cards really nicely. And I think this one has like 240 slots. So, oh my gosh. Do you hear that? That's my garage door opening. This room is above my garage. Let's hope he doesn't start with the power equipment. Okay. The next finish I had was, and this kind of did my eyes in, but Spring Sampler Fragment from Shakespeare's Peddler. That's Kitten Stitcher. Oh my gosh, sorry for glare. Anyway, this is from Shakespeare's Peddler. I did this on 36 count. Dark Soil from XJU Design. This was a Market Mania start number 2 for me, and I finished it on June 9th. I did mine on 36 count. The called for is 40. Yes. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to finish it. She finished it into a little pillow, but on 40 count, the pillow is 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. On 36 count, it's 7 by 7. I mean, I've made bigger pillows, so I guess I could, but I'm kind of thinking maybe an easel finish, you know, where it's like a flat finish, but you put a little easel stand on the back. I'm not sure. I think I want to do the other, there's a summer fragment that was in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine last summer. I think I want to do them all before I decide how I'm finishing them. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So, those are my 2 finishes. I'm trying to be orderly over here. I don't think it's going to work. Okay. So like I said, this handy dandy little business card holder is going to hold all of my project cards. Now, I think it says it holds 240 of them, but I think that's if you did double them up, I think. I'm not really sure. That was Sophie yawning. But even so, that would be half. So I'm okay with that. You know, I think it's a great way to store these little project cards. And the project cards are business cards from Vista Print. Just put your image and put your info that you want to keep track of. And that really helps me. I used to keep the Fat Quarter Shop has those little cross-stitch journals. There's about, I don't know, 50 entries you can do in there. But I just found that this is so much easier and I can keep the little card in the project bag. So that's what I do. Okay, so those are my finishes. Now I have some WIPs and I have some new starts. So let's just, and then I have plans. And then I have a little bit of haul. Some of it I'm not going to show you because, well, one of them is the Sip and Stitch from Primrose. And I think there's been people showing that, so that's a new start. Okay, somebody else asked me, can you please show your project bag? So sure I can. All right. This is one of my WIPs, and I didn't take it out of the hoop, and I'm really sorry, but I'm going to show you the Nurge hoop. Here's the Nurge. I use a number 2 most of the time, but I have other sizes. Here's the Nurge, number 2. Love it. They get nice and tight. It doesn't fatigue my hand or my wrist. I can't use a Q-snap because it ends up hurting my wrist. So, this is, WIP number 1 is from Shakespeare's Peddler, Kindness Makes Friends. I think Stitchy Sarah reads, Sarah Stitchery. She just finished this at StitchCon. I saw it on Instagram. She posted it. It's beautiful. I am stitching this on 36 count flax by Zweigart. And this was my Market Mania start number 1. I started this May 4th. And I am like about a third of the way done. I did all the alphabet and now I'm heading down into the house territory. So it's fun. I love it. I didn't put the corner there, but I'll go back and do that. It's such pretty colors. I'm using all the called for colors. I didn't make any substitutions on any of it. Because they're so pretty. They're rich. They're very rich colors. Very, very fun chart to stitch. So, I would like to finish this in June. We'll see. If I would stop starting things, I might. But that's not going to happen. That's what I do. Oh, here's the project bag. This is a project bag that I made. So, just... Oop. Sorry. Let's fix that. So, just got a little... I had this fabric from, oh gosh. They were sets of fabric from a place, I don't know if they exist anymore. Keepsake Quilting. They used to be in New Hampshire, I want to say. And we used to go there when we were camping in New Hampshire. We used to go visit the shop. So I bought like a bunch of their fabric packs. I guess they would have been fat quarter packs, but they came differently. They came like in an 8 by 10 with the sides folded up. It was weird. But I bought quite a few like different sets of fabric, and I think this was Madeline Englebright fabric. So I've had it for years. So I made some bags out of it. Trying to use the stash. This is my Como Stitches bag. Look it. It's beautiful. Love it. Jess. And this has my start for, and again, it's in the hoop because I'm working on these. I've been working morning. I'll switch to something in the afternoon. This is my Hollis Hands. Okay, I'm going to say it right. Hang on. I have to read it. This is my start for Christine Hollis Hands Create Hollis Summer Holiday Sale. And that started on Memorial Day, and it goes through till Labor Day, and you start something and hopefully finish it. Flag Thief. This is fun. There's a lot of little details in this, like the little windows and stuff. They have little window boxes, and it's just super cute. So I did all the little details, and I'm going to start filling in the house now. But then I got sidetracked by the moon. So, and my needle's in there. Don't yell at me. But this, my plan is to definitely finish it for Labor Day. Because I have another start that I want to start for Plum Street. But I need to get some more threads, and I have to do it before the first day of summer. So those are the threads. I haven't changed any of the colors. I'm telling you something. This is not a very big chart. That roof, gosh, that was something to keep track of. I think I had crazy eyes after that. They were like all jittery. And my next WIP that I worked on, I finally, oh, here, another project bag I made. Let me get the chart out so I don't do that again. Okay, here we go. This is Mary Bovee. This is a stitch along with Holly, Mrs. Jones Stitches, and Nicole's 4. And I would have never, ever been drawn to this. But then seeing how everyone was doing it on like neutral fabrics or a darker fabric, or not as a modeled fabric, you could really see the design, and it's gorgeous. So I have been messing around with color choices. I think I finally hit my combination, my recipe, as Heidi Whips and Kits says. So I'll put it tentatively down in the description box, but it's subject to change. But I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with the choices. So here is where I am. Because once I decided on the greenery, so to speak, I kind of took off with it. So I'm hitting my water cup. So I am using, for the border, I'm using Oscar. And there's a pink and a red, and I'm using Baked. Let's see. It's baked apple, Week's baked apple, and Week's sanguine. I am using the cold for caramel corn for the inner border. That's this here. I changed out the letters. The letters I'm using Putty, Week's Putty, because I wanted them to show more. And for this, I'm using Oscar, the green here. There's going to be a basket. The urn, I'm going to be using charcoal, Week's charcoal, and the roof. And for the bunnies, the animals on here, I'm using, hang on, because they're all brown. I'm using the Gentle Arts maple syrup, number 0440. That's that one. I'm not sure if I'm keeping the house in lamb's wool, but so far the only two colors that I have kept from the original list are lamb's wool and caramel corn. That is both Gentle Arts. Everything else I've changed or replaced or put in a different place. So, but that's the fun of what I'm seeing people doing with this, is they're making it their own, which is really cool. So that's where I am with that. I did work on that. Here's the, I don't usually make the vinyl front anymore. I have, you know, a little bit of vinyl left. I might make a few more, but, and honestly, you could totally not have the problem with the pattern sticking to the front by just putting your fabric first. But I get it. I get the word. I get the concern over it. Okay. Oh, that's a new start. How many new starts do I have? I didn't write this one down. Gosh. Okay. Bad record keeping. Okay, then I did a little bit of work on Summer at Hollyberry Farms. Here's another bag I made. Just don't know where the fabric came from. It was just in my stash. Okay, so I started this because I've always loved it. This is done on Cedar River Linens 36 count tephra. I did a little bit of work on the border and the inner border. I will tell you, I had to order some more of apple cider. I didn't have enough of that. And tin bucket. And the tin bucket I got, this is the tin bucket I have. It's over there. I can't get it. But I will tell you, the tin bucket I received, this is how much dye lots can change, was more of the darker color. See that carriage black? That's what the tin bucket was like, the new one. So dye lots change. No criticism there. Of course they change. But I was just like, ooh, gosh, I hope I have enough of this tin bucket to go around. It doesn't say on the chart that you need a heck of a lot of it, because will you pray that I have enough? I think I do. I think it's only that 1, 2, 3 lines across in the border, and I think it's the flag. Maybe the flag. Oh, maybe not. But yeah, I don't see it predominantly anywhere else. Yeah, it's just these 3 lines across. Oh, you can't see that. Really? Do you see 1, 2, 3? So, you keep a good thought for me that I have enough of that. or else I'm going to be ordering skeins of Tim Bucket hoping I hit on a similar color. But it's really pretty. I mean, look at the berries. So I love the berries in this. And then I kept seeing some other Stacy Nash charts with berries in them. And I have some in my haul. So you'll see that. But that is Summer at Hollyberry Farm, Stacy Nash. And that, I did change something on my WIP Go, just so you know. My WIP Go, I had 2 pulls were any medium sampler and any blackbird. And the 2 blackbirds I have going are both Halloween. And I wasn't in the Halloween mood, so I changed it to any Stacy Nash, because I've been stitching like her stuff like crazy. So my board, my rules. I'll show that to you in a minute. Oh, I got stuff everywhere. Okay, so I think that was the last of my whips. Now I have some new starts, which are officially whips now. Everything's everywhere. Okay, hang on. Oh, and then I have like a whole bag of plans that go along with the sal. Okay. Let's get it together. And that goes with the sal. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So, new starts. The first thing I started was, what a mess. Bloom. This was the exclusive from the Homespun Needlework group on Facebook. I'm so sorry. I see my camera going like this, and I apologize. This was an exclusive. You needed to order it through the group, and it was fulfilled by Acorns and Threads heartstring samplery. It is gorgeous, and it comes with that fabric and the thread to do both of them, and then the 2 wooden pieces. I decided to start the lighter version. Here are the threads. They're beautiful, beauteous. And I've got a nice little start on it. There's my needles there. Okay. I mean, respectable start. There we go. It's fun. Really pretty colors. And this is Cedar River Linen 36 count Pyrite. This is another bag I made. This was, I don't know. It reminds me of Teresa Kogut fabric, but I don't know that it was hers. So I'm not going to commit. Erin, that's a new one. Miss Erin Elizabeth. She said I should make a design that says I'm not responsible, because I say that pretty much every Flosstube. Maybe I will. Okay, this was my yesterday start. Okay, so to the sal. If you haven't seen already, the 2 Nancys, Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher and Nancy Stitcher with the Laughing Face, they both have YouTubes. They both have Instagrams. Go check them out. They're doing a sal. It started on June 4th, but you can catch up. 13 for the 250th sal. So this download, and you can make it smaller. I just printed it out. They have a link to this on their respective channels. You can print it out. I started, my first stripe is Summer, Seasons of the Heart, Summer, because it's got the flag and I've always wanted to stitch it. So here's the book. It's got the 4. This is the one I am stitching. Brenda Gervais. Here are my threads. I'm using all the cold for. And it is done on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart, because that is the cold for. I'm not necessarily cold for, but I made this one too. I made a bunch of bags. This was just fabric I think I got at Hobby Lobby. And here's where I am. This I work on it in the morning because 40 count eyes. Oh boy. There we go. It's fun. This will be a finish soon, I hope. I hope to have it finished by July 4th, because that's when I have to start the next one. So hold that thought, because if you haven't checked out this Sal, you should. It's awesome. I saw Teresa Garden Goose. Man, I'm name dropping. I don't mean to be. She went through her Patriotic patterns, and I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. You should go through your Patriotic patterns and get them in one spot, so that when the 4th of the month comes up, you can just grab one and go and stay on track. And that's what my plan is. All right, we'll get to that in a second. I just want to show you my last new start. I kind of started it later last night because I wanted to get a jump on it, and I wasn't sure of my fabric, and I ended up changing my fabric. So this is my Flag Day start. This is another bag I made, but this one's got the patchwork. My first attempt. I made it a while ago. I don't know that I would attempt another one. This is done on 36 count Ren by Picture This Plus. And it's the more grayer Ren and not the browner Ren. Because I had 2 pieces of Ren. And this one looked good with this. And the chart is the Pledge of Allegiance from Crochet to Go-Go. And I think this is going to be a quick one. These are the DMC, but I did change 2 colors. Just to let you know, I subbed out. It calls for DMC 931, and I am using 930. And it calls for DMC 347, and I subbed that out for 3777. So I kind of like trimmed down the colors a little bit. And here it is. And I love it. I think it's gonna go fast because I just started this. I know I'm a fast stitcher, but not that fast. But I really love the colors, and I've always wanted to start this chart. I've had it for, I think I got it in 2022 when I saw it come out. Maybe. When did you put it out, Michaela? Had it, yeah, 2022. When she first released it, I think I got it. And I've wanted to do it, and someone in one of the girls in our group, Jill, asked, is anybody starting anything for Flag Day? And I was like, yeah, I am. I'm starting this one. This is what I was thinking of doing, and I'm doing it. All right, that is it for my new starts. So let's get back to this. Okay. Teresa. I got all my charts. So, is that a new chart? Oh, no, this was the freebie. Is this the freebie? No, this is an older chart I had. So, I'm just going to show you some of the charts I have. Oh, I think this was from the Sip and Stitch. Yes. All right, I know people have shown them already, and it's been over a week. So, perfect small from the Sip and Stitch. There's a lot of Primrose Cottage in here. They just had their freebie. If you're not on their newsletter, go get it. These are, some of them are smaller than others. This one is not as small, but it's narrow. So, love me some Brenda. Okay, these were all the Patriotic charts I haven't stitched that are in my stash. Hands-on Design, Heartstring Samplery, This one is 111 by 104. That's doable in a month. Little House Needleworks has the peach Americana petites. I mean, you could do, theoretically, you could do one a month. And that's 4 months right there. Dudes. Old Glory. Haven't done that one yet. This is probably going to be my next one. Plum Street. Peace, Love, and Purpose. Look at that. It has 1776 on it. I'll take it. Flag. Freedom Pin Roll. Come on, I got me some fun. And the rest are, okay, so if you're looking for some free. Oh, wait, there's more. I got all excited. Bless Our Land. Look how stinking cute that is. That one is only 74 by 74. That might be the next one. It's going to be hard to choose. Okay, and then I have Lizzie Kate. Emily Call. Rosewood Manor. Americano. Came with the charms. Then the rest I really, oh wait, one more. The rest I can't really show you because it's the charts. Threadwork Primitives. Uncle Sam. And this one was from Just Cross Stitch. This issue, summer 2025. And it's October House Fiber Arts. Ooh, and I've seen a couple of people stitch it. Cute. Then, if you want to go get the over to Pinker and Pumpkin. She has got the salt box houses, and she's got one with a little, I can't show it to you because it's free. It's Molly Williams Homestead, has a flag and a log cabin on it. And Freedom Salt Box has an eagle and a flag and a salt box. And posies? No. Yeah, posy. No. Some flower. I can't think. But yes, so thank you, Teresa, for that great idea of gathering up all the Patriotic, putting them in one place so that you can grab and go. And then you are set to start and get your 13 stripes filled in for the year to celebrate the 250th birthday of the United States of America. Okay. Hey. I'm not zipping that. You have to see the pile of bags on the floor. Okay. So now the time has come. Let me do the recipients. I gotta write down all the people I've been mentioning. Okay. So you guys were great. The first recipient is J. McKinney, 2411. The second was Claire Callentar. There you are, Claire. And the third was Trish Wells, 34. If all of you would, please email me at thecampingstitcher@gmail.com with the address, the email address that you would like me to email your red, white, and true chart to. I will get that out to you ASAP. Okay? Thank you. All right. And so for next time, if you would like to be the recipient of one of 3 PDFs for Patriotic Pals, leave me a comment, be a subscriber, like, share, all the YouTube things, and just use the word pals. And we will do that for next time. I have to write it down or else you don't know what's going to happen up here. Okay. The next thing up is haul. I did get some haul today, but I don't really want to show it to you. I joined the Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month Club, and I just got my first piece of fabric, and it's gorgeous, but it just came today, and I don't think it would be right for me to show it to you because other people's may not have come, and I know people want to be surprised. They just want to be surprised. So I'm respecting that. But I have other haul, not to be disappointed. Okay. So do you remember when we had that little chat about Shores of Hawk Run Hollow, and you were like, yeah, oh, so many of you said the same thing. So I got a half yard of 36 count vintage country mocha, and I am going to restart it. Thank you very much. You guys were just the little I needed to do the right thing for my eyes. Okay. All right. So I did show you some of the sip and stitch, the little markers, and there was the floss and then the finishing, and it was such a great box. I'm very happy to have it. I don't know if I showed you guys. I don't think that I showed these to you, but it's just me stocking up on Plum Street Samplers charts that I don't have. So this is True Friendship. I saw this and I was just like, that is so sweet. It says true friendship is a plant of slow growth. And it's Pat's sampler. And I'm not sure of the story behind it, to be honest with you. Oh wait, hang on. This is dedicated to Paulette's sweet friend, Pat Ryan. That's nice. Okay. And then, this might go into my Patriotic patterns. Always remember, this is Patriotic. That might go right in there. And then a new constellation, because the Rhode Island samplers are gorgeous. Look at that flag. Holy cow. Love it. Okay, so that's it for the charts, I think. Well, there's one more, but it's a kit. So I did, I'm stashing up on some fabrics. So I went over to Hollis Hands Creates, Christine, her Etsy shop, and I got me some crepe cloth, 36 count, from Lap and Loops. Yep, Lap and Loops. I don't know if you can really see that. I'm sorry for the lighting. It's been junk the last couple of episodes. And this is everything to do with the new start that's going to happen, hopefully, on the 20th. When's the first day of summer? When's the summer equinox? Whatever that day is. This is baked clay, because I'm going to be starting Plum Street Summer Moon, finally. Yep. Because why not have another? You know, I might ditch some bigger projects that I keep looking at and not doing. Okay, so here is the other thing. I was talking to my friend Anne at Dyeing the Stitch. So if you're in the Virginia Beach area, Dyeing the Stitch is carrying my charts. So she was, we were chit-chatting, and I said, by the way, I keep seeing this Stacy Nash sampler, and I keep hearing it was an exclusive. And she was like, well, sure, yeah, okay. So I ordered it, and it's so pretty. Liberty Roll sampler, and it came with the fabric and the flosses and the, Oh boy, I can't wait. This is also going to be a start. I'll do what I want. But look. This is Patriots brew. That's fitting. I think. Yes. Yes. 36 count Patriots brew. So yeah. I actually probably should join this club. It was a club, I guess it's a club exclusive. I'm not really sure how that works. But thank you. Thank you, thank you. So happy to have that, and I want to start it. So that, seriously, other than my Be-Stitch Me, that is all my haul. And that's enough. Okay. Plans. So, I would like to finish Kindness Makes Friends. And I would like to start Summer Moon. And I would also like to start the Liberty, the one I just showed you, because I could forget the name right away. And just keep rotating through my WIPs. I have WIP Go, WIP Go. I have completed one of my WIP Goes, any medium. I've been working on Flag Thief. That's kind of medium smallish, I guess. But I've been working on Kindness Makes Friends, and so I've done more than the 5 days, 5 times. And then the Stacy Nash, I just have to do one more day really to fulfill that goal. So that's my WIP Go. I will be gluing my map into the back of my book of days because I have blank sheets there that are ready for something to be added. I'll put a new tab on it. And I know I'm forgetting something. Oh, okay, let's look at the notes. Notes will tell me if I'm forgetting something. Okay, nope, I think that's about it. I'll be back in about 2-ish weeks. So if you don't want to stick around for the campfire story, thank you. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe, like, do all the YouTube-y things that help the channel. I do see, like, every once in a while I'll explain to you. My channel is monetized only because YouTube monetized it before I had a say in it. So that's why. So I did do all the things that you had to do because I don't really think they should just get all the money, right? I should give it back into the community. So that's what I do. And that's about it. I will, if you are not sticking around for the campfire story, I will see you all in 2-ish weeks. And stay well and be safe and get a lot of stitching in. But if you are staying around for the campfire story, this one is about a camping trip that we took many years ago up to, I think it's Twin Mountains in New Hampshire. It's a campground called Sugarloaf. And I want to say it was, I want to say we were probably in the pop-up. I don't think we were in a tent still. But in any case, we were in a thing that sound could really be heard outside, inside. So anyway, when you go to these, well, I don't know if it's still the same, but we would kind of get on friendly terms with the campground host, because if you go to some place repeatedly and it's the same campground host, they get to know who you are, you know, that kind of thing. And so we were camping, and there was a group that came in, and they were having a lot of fun. And they were having a lot of fun really, really all night long. Like, all night long. so loud. And I know like a lot of campers complain to the host. And, you know, the host will go do what they can do. But, and I understand this completely, you don't want to see a host have somebody make somebody leave when they're in that condition of having had so much fun. That's just dangerous and not a good thing to do. And I get it. But so therefore, there were a lot of families that were camping around this group of people that was having so much fun. They were younger kids. And we didn't get sleep that night. And our kids didn't get sleep that night. And there were a lot of grumpy people the next morning in the campground. But we didn't need to really worry about what they were going to do about it. Because about, I want to say 7:30, 8 o'clock, when everything was really quiet in that campsite and they had just settled down, probably maybe an hour or so before to go to sleep, our campground host went over there with pots and pans and woke their sorry butts up and watched them pack, made sure they were okay enough to leave, and they were kicked out of the campground. And that's my campfire story. There's just some stuff like that, you know, where, you know, you're in a campground. It's going to be noisy, but most campgrounds have, you know, campground rules, generator rules, quiet hours, and, you know, for a group of people, and we haven't seen it a lot. We've done a lot of camping, and we have not seen that, I want to say 2 times. That time, and another time when we were over in Hastings. But you have good campground hosts, and they are backed up by their law enforcement. They have radios. They will take care of a situation. You just have to let them do it the right way, the safe way for everybody. But yeah, we were so shocked when she went over there. Pots and pans, get up, get out. It was awesome. A little bit of, you know, I don't want to take joy in someone's, but man, we were kind of cranked out because we had no sleep. And our kids were like, we had no sleep. They were noisy. But yeah, that's my campfire story. I don't have a lot of those. Just that one other one. But it's just one of those things, right? You have that. Oh, that reminds me. Next time I'll tell you the campfire story about the time we were in a hotel in Portland. That was a little scary though. Anyway, that is my campfire story. Hope you got a little chuckle out of that. I know we did. We all took naps that day. That's it. That's all I got. So, again, I hope you're doing okay. Oh, you know what? I did forget. I just wanted to go and mention a couple of floss tubers. Oh, gosh, I should have done this before. I've been watching Bella Rose and Star Garnet Stitchery. They used to do a floss tube together, Garnet Rose. They're really good friends, and they just had, logistically, they've just not been able to get together. And I'm so glad that they're both doing their own floss tubes because I really enjoy the both of them. So go check them out. The Hathaway Stitchers, I've been catching up on their floss tubes, and oh my gosh, if, you know, I gotta tell you, if I'm feeling like a little grumped out or something, I will go turn on somebody that makes me laugh, and they are so fun. So I just thank you, Amity and Erin. You guys crack me up. And then I think a few people have mentioned Pam from Ditsy Daisy Crafts. I'll put all the links in the, because she's hard to find. She was a hard one to find. And then the Sable Stitchers, Linny and Roberta. They are two of the most just nicest ladies, and hope everything's going well with you, Linny. That's about it. That's who I've been watching. So, stay well. Get a lot of stitching in. And I will see you in 2-ish weeks. All right, stitch away. Bye.